this challenge was inspired by a real life problem, and I had so much fun solving it that I had to turn it into a Preppin data challenge. So we have our players at C&BSCo stores, and they like to play five-a-side matches every other Sunday in little tournaments with the other stores. So we can see, for example, one row represents a player and a tournament that they took part in and how many matches they played in that tournament. We also have just their total number of matches to date, and you can see that's the same across all the different tournament dates. So if we wanted to know how many tournaments they played in at any one time, then how do we work that out? So we're actually going to do a running total. So basically we want to know, for example, if we're starting from here, for this player 1 of Chelsea, then we want to know the total of these numbers to minus from this total matches number. Similarly, if we're looking at the second date, we want to add up all of these, so everything that comes after that match, and minus it from this number here, so that we get that idea of how many matches they would have played before they started playing in this tournament. So to do that, we're actually going to order our matches. So I don't think this step's strictly necessary. We could probably just use the tournament date, but in my mind, it makes a bit more sense to work with numbers than dates. So maybe this step isn't as necessary as it needs to be, but it's one that I like to take. So I just do a ranking on that tournament date. So that will look like, for each team, for each player ID, rank the tournament date in ascending order, so that I just know the order in which the matches happen. And then I have this step that's just here basically for the self-join element. So I'm only keeping my team and player ID, my match order, and the number of matches that they played in a tournament. So I join these two together. So we're using the team equal to the team, the player equal to the player, so that we're keeping it at the player level basically. And then what we're doing here is we're doing the match order is less than or equal to the match order. So if we come over to the side here and take a look at what that means. So you can see, for example, that every player who has match order number 1, that's going to take data from everything in the data set. If I look at 2, then it excludes number 1, so it's basically just allowing me to see all those forward-looking matches, and that matches up then with my matches played in the tournament, so I'll be able to take these numbers from those future matches and be able to add those all together, so that I can just simply minus that away from my total matches played. So let's make that running total there kind of solidified. So I'm grouping by my team, my player, the total matches that they've played, the tournament date, and the matches played in tournament that comes from this blue section. So it doesn't have the -1 after it. So I want to keep that all grouped together, and then I want to sum the matches played in the tournament -1. So that's where it comes from the yellow here. It's just therefore the matches that are played in the future. So we're summing those all together, and then with that one that we've just made, then we're creating this calculated field called experience at the beginning of the tournament, and just doing the total matches minus the matches played in tournament -1. So that's that aggregated field of all the matches that are played in the future after that tournament. And now if we go and look at one player in particular, then we can see, even though they're not quite in the right order, these dates, they're all over the place. Let's find the first date they played. So the 15th of January, we have 61 here, which is 77 minus 16. So if we totaled up all of these numbers, would we get 16? So that'd be 3, 11, yep, that makes 16. So that's worked. It's added up all of those numbers. Let's look at the last date that we have here, so the 21st of May. So we can see that we've just got 73 is their experience at the beginning of the tournament. Then at the end of the tournament, they would have reached 77, and yet they've played 4 matches. So yeah, that's working for that end of the scale as well. So we've managed to get to our number of matches that a player has played at the beginning of each tournament there. And I just thought that was a fun little neat trick. So hopefully you enjoyed figuring that out too. So thank you very much for watching.